Hello everyone. So today we are here with the next part for the solution of the half-yearly examination paper. I hope you all are doing well, and I would definitely suggest you after seeing this you would send me your scores also, right? Give how much you have scored out of it. Okay. So now let's move on to the solution for section D and E here. Now section D is for the 5 mark question. So we will start with that. So the first question is based on the differential equation applications, that is the growth model and the decay model. So if the interest is compounded continuously at 6% per annum, how much worth rupees 1000 will be on 10 years? Solve it using differential equation. So we have to find the money that it will cost after 10 years, right? So now if interest is compounded continuously at 6% per annum, so now what will be the equation? Suppose the money that you have invested we are taking as P, and with time dp by dt is equal to what? 6% of the money that you have deposited. So this is the equation that we have. So again you will get 1 mark for this equation. Right now if I use the variable separable form, we will get this. We will keep the terms. Right now we integrate both the sides. So what will you get? Log p is equal to 6 by 100 t plus c. Right now c has constant of integration. Now what is given to you? 1000 rupees will be in 10 years, right? So 1000 rupees. So your money was down 1000 rupees in the starting when time was zero. So this is your initial value. Correct? So it turns out to be an initial value problem. So P is 1000 rupees. What initially? Initially means when time is zero. So let's find C with this and put it in this equation. Correct? Now log 1000 is equal to 6 upon 100. T is 0 plus C. So ये पूरा टर्म 0 हो जाता है. So what's your C? C is log 1000. Okay. Now we have to find in 10 years how much it will become. So now the second condition is T is 10 and we have to find P. That 1000 rupees का भी कितना हो जाएगा. Correct? Now let's move it and put it again in this equation. So log P as it is 6 upon 100. T is 10 and C we have found log 1000. Now let's calculate this. So log P and log 1000 if I take on one side. So log P minus log 1000 0.6 बन गया. Correct? 10 and 100 will come. Now what will you get? Log P by 1000 is equal to zero point 0.6, right? That is what you have. So now let's convert it into exponential. Why we will convert it into exponential? Because exponential zero point 0.6 is given to you. So P upon 1000 will become exponential zero point 0.6 and the value is 1.822. So P will become what? So P will be 1822 rupees. So 1000 rupees will become 1822 rupees. Correct? In 10 years. So this is how do we calculate कि अगर 6% पे आप कर रहे हैं calculate, so 1822. Otherwise it's a simple question. Correct? You can easily do it with simple interest, compound interest, but we have to use differential equations. So we have to move accordingly. Right? So this is what we have. So as I told you, 1 mark will be for your equation. 1 mark will be for you the finding this equation, and then half mark will be for finding the C value. Then again for finding this value you get 1 mark for framing the equation by putting the values, and the last part after putting the value in, then you get again 1.5. Correct? So this is how we divide the 5 marks. Now again or part for the same. So for the same question or part is there. So this is based on the multiplication or the growth of bacteria number. So the rate at which bacteria will multiply is proportional to the instantaneous number present. If the original number of bacteria triples in 3 hours, in how many hours will it be 4 times? Correct. So now here we have to make the equation again. So let us denote the number of bacteria by n. So dn by dt is proportional to n. So dn by dt will be equal to kn. We remove the proportionality sign, then equal to sign is introduced. Now let's separate the variables here. So dn by n and k dt. Let's integrate both sides. So log n is equal to kt plus c. Now this is your simple equation. Again, 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this. Okay, this is how we categorize. Now here the conditions are given to you for K also. Okay, so if original number of bacteria triples in 3 hours. So let's say original number is N0. Nothing is given to you. So don't think the question is incomplete. You will assume something. So let's take initial value. Let N be equal to N0 when time is 0. So let's find C. So log N0 is equal to k into 0 plus c. So c का वैल्यू कितना हो गया log n0. So this is again ends up to 1. Now let's find the value of k now. So for that second condition has to be used. It triples, okay, in 3 hours. So when time is 3 hours, your bacteria count is 3n0. जो भी आपका initial था, अगर 100 था तो अभी 300 हो गया. Simple as that. Now let's do it. Can we use 100 also? Yes, we can use 100 also. No worries. Okay, so log 3n0, that's your n. K, we have to find. T is 3. And what is your C? Log n0. Now let's move it. Log 3n0 by n0. Again, you move it here. So it becomes minus sign, and log A minus log B is log A by B. That's 3n. Now, so log 3 upon 3 is your K. Okay, that's your K value. Now we have to find in how many hours will it be 4 times. So now K you know, C you know. So now the last part. So that's again the 1 mark left out. So that is what N becomes 4 times of the initial value. So we have to find time. So this is what we have for the question. Now your initial value is n0 already. So now n is becoming 4 times of the initial value. So that is what we have in the question. Now let's find it out. So log 4 n0, k is log 3 by 3, t you have to find, and plus log n0. This is plus sign. Okay, now let's bring it log n0 to this side. So log 4 n0 by n0 and 1 upon 3 log 3 t. See, no value is given here for log 4, log 3. You have to leave the answer like that. So now let's take all the terms on one side except t. So t will become what? 3 log 4 whole upon log 3. So in these many years, it will become, or in these many hours, it will become 4 times. The value is not given, leave your answer like that only. So again 1 mark for this. So in all 5 marks. Okay, so this is how the marks are distributed. You can mark yourself accordingly. That's the reason I am giving you the marks. Out of 80, you can easily make yourself comfortable. How much shall I score? Clear? Now let's move on to the next question. Now, the demand and supply functions are given to you. You have to find the equilibrium point as well as the consumer surplus and the producer surplus at equilibrium point. So, first you have to find equilibrium point. So, what's the equilibrium point? The equilibrium point is the point where the demand function is equal to supply function. So, dx is equal to supply function. So, what do you get? 25 minus x square is equal to 2x plus 1. This is what we have the given condition. So x square plus 2x minus 24 is 0. So we have to factorize it and get the answers. So this is what we have. 6x minus 4x. So x plus 6 minus 4, x plus 6. So x is 4 and minus 6. Minus 6 is not possible because, anyone? Yes, because the number of commodities. So you will write there negative नहीं होते हैं commodities, so we get it. Correct? So this is your equilibrium point. Now for the following equilibrium point, we will find the P0 also. तभी वो equilibrium point बनेगा. So x is 4. Now let's denote x0 is 4. That's your equilibrium point. Let's calculate P0. You can use any of the two equations. You can use 25 minus x square. You can use 2x plus 1. So corresponding P0 क्या बन जाएगा हमारे पास 2 into 4 plus 1, that's 9. So this is your equilibrium point. Correct? So 1 mark till here, 1 mark for this. The entire point. Correct? So that is P0. Now consumer surplus and producer surplus. Now consumer surplus का formula what do we have, and then producer surplus का formula what do we have. So CS, that is consumer surplus. So what do you get? यहाँ पे आप पॉइंट्स को 4,9 करके फाइनल आंसर पे लिख सकते हैं. So that will be the, don't leave the answer at x is equal to 4 only. पॉइंट पूछा है तो दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट चाहिए हमें, x कोऑर्डिनेट एज वेल एज y कोऑर्डिनेट. रिमेंबर नाउ CS का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है, 0 to x0, the function we have, demand function here, and minus x0 p0. So we will have half mark for this formula as well. Now 1 mark will be for the entire calculation of CS. So 0 to 4, 25 minus x square bx, and 4 into 9. So 25x minus x cubed by 3, 0 to 4 minus 36. So 25 into 4 will be 100. 4 cube is 64 by 3 minus 36. If we put 0, it will become 0. So we are not putting it. Okay. So what do you get? Let's take 3 LCM. So 300 minus 64 minus 108. So you get nothing but 128 by 3. So that gives you the answer, 42.66. That's your consumer surplus. So 1 mark for this. So in all, 2 marks for the first part and 3 marks for the second. Don't divide it 2.5, 2.5. It depends on how and what is being asked. Now let's go for this producer surplus. X0 P0 minus 0 to X0, and we have supply function here. Okay. So X0 P0 is 4 into 9 minus 0 to 4, 2x plus 1 dx. So 36 minus 2x square by 2 plus x, 0 to 4. So 36 minus 4 square is 16 plus 4, right? So 0 if we put, we get 0. So what will you get? 36 minus 20, that's 16. Again 1 mark for this and half mark for the formula. This is makes it full 5 mark question. Very simple and very easy to score. I think all of you must have got 5. Okay, now let's move on to the next. Now the sum of three numbers is 20. If we multiply the first number by 2, add the second number to the result, subtract the third one, we get 23. By adding second and third numbers to 3 times the first number, we get 46. Represent the above problem algebraically and use Cramer's rule to find the numbers from the equations. Now here we have to form the equation first, and after that we have to use Cramer's rule. Right, so first let's form the equation. So let the three numbers be x, y, z. Correct. Now sum of three numbers is 20. Okay, now if we multiply the first number by 2, second number को हमें add करना है, and third number को हमें subtract करना है, and then we get 23. So I get 2x plus y minus z is 23. By adding the second and third number to 3 times the first, so 3 times the first, adding the second and third, what do we get? 46. So these are the three equations. For this, you get minimum 1 mark. Okay, or half mark for each, you get 1.5. This is how it goes on. Now let's make it to the others. Now we have to make it to the Cramer's rule. So for Cramer's rule, let's find D first. Correct. So what will be D? 1, 1, 1, 2, 1 minus 1, 3, 1, 1. Right? So let's make it out. So what do you get? 1, 1 plus 1 minus 1, 2 plus 3 minus plus 1, and then 2 minus 3. So what do you get? 2, then minus 5, and then you get minus 1. So what do you get? 2 minus 6 and minus 4. So that's your D. Again 1 mark you will get for this. Okay, so mostly क्या होता है, हम 1 1 1 1 सबका रखते हैं, so that you get the answers. Okay, fine. Now here we get now dx. So you will replace x with 20, 23, and 46. Then 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1. Okay, now let's solve this. So what do you get? 20, 1 plus 1, 2, minus 1, 23 plus 46, and then minus 1, 23 minus 46. Okay, so what will you get? 40, 69, and here you get, so what do you get here? This is plus. Okay. So 90, 69, 40 minus this, and then you get this. So you get here minus 52. So what will be your x? Your x will be dx by d, that is minus 52 by minus 4, that is 30. So your first number is this. Similarly, we will calculate dy and dz as well. So again, you will get 1 mark for this. Okay, so this is how it goes on. So similarly for y and similarly for z. So now let's calculate dy. So dy goes on 1, 2, 3, 20, 23, and 46. 1, minus 1, and 1. So this is your dy. Now let's calculate the value of dy. So now let's move it. 1, 23 plus 46 minus 20, 2 plus 3 minus 1, 46 into 2. So we get here 96, 2 and minus 69. Okay, so this is what we get. And on calculation, what do we get here? We get here 92, 72, and then we get here minus 100, and then we get here minus 100. Here we get 72, and here we get minus 20, 2 plus 3, 100, and then for this we get 92 minus 69. Correct? And again I've written minus 1. Every time I'm making the same thing I'm writing today. Correct? Okay, now we get here 3, and here we get 23. So what do we get here? So we get 72, and here we get this. So this is 23 I've written. Now this is 69. Okay, now we get 92 and for minus 8. So what do we get for dy? Dy is minus 8 upon minus 4, that's 2. So 1 mark for this. Now we have to calculate dz in a similar way. So let's calculate dz. So dz will be what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 20, 23, and 46. So what do you get here? dz. Let's calculate 1, 46 minus 23, minus 1, 92 minus 69, and then plus 1. Now this time I've written plus. Okay, 2 minus 3. Now let's calculate. So what do you get on calculation? 23, and then minus 3, and then you get my divide is simple. No? Minus 20 आ गया. So now what's dz? So dz will be minus 20 upon minus 4, which gives you the answer 5. So the three values, again 1 mark for this. So in all 5 marks. So 4 marks in all. Okay. Sometimes few teachers here give 1.5 and they mark a half mark for this. Okay, so then also it's correct. So it's up to you. How do you want to mark it? So if everything is correct, go for 5 marks. Okay, simple question and easily you can score. Now let's move on to the next. Okay, so now this is 35th question. Let's start with it. Determine the values of x for which the function is increasing or decreasing. That's the first part. And also find the coordinates of the point on the curve. Y is equal to x square minus 6x plus 9, where normal is parallel to the line y is equal to x plus 5. So let's do it for increasing decreasing first. Now what's the point for the increasing decreasing? That we will have to find the derivative first and we will be equating it to 0 to find the critical points. Okay, now let's find f dash x, so which gives you 2x minus 6. Correct. Now let's equate it to 0. So 2x minus 6 is 0. So basically we get x as 3. Right. So we have two intervals now. So intervals are minus infinity to 3 and 3 to infinity. So there are two intervals, just one point on the real number line, that is 3. Okay, now let's check it from which interval is it increasing and the one which is decreasing. Okay, now let's move on to this. Let's make a small table. Intervals, sine of f dash x, and result, whether it's increasing or decreasing. Now in the interval minus infinity to 3. So if I have put any number, just think of it in your mind. If I put it in the derivative, what will I get? Minus infinity to 3. Just think of 0 then. If I put x as 0, what will I get? I'll get a negative number, which shows that it's decreasing, right? Because f dash x is less than 0, then the function is decreasing. Now the next number, 3 to infinity, let's think of any number. So it becomes, if I put 5, 5 to the 10, 10 minus 6, 4. So it becomes positive. So it's going to be increasing in that interval as f dash x is greater than 0. So this completes your solution for the first part, right? So it is increasing in the interval minus infinity to, 3 to infinity, and decreasing in the interval minus infinity to 3. Now the second part, correct? The coordinates of the point on the curve where the normal is parallel to the line. Now normal is the line which is perpendicular to the tangent, correct? So now the curve is given to you x square minus 6x plus 9, the same as before. That is why it's linked together. So let's find dy by dx, which we have already found. Let's write it here, which is 2x minus 6. Now normal का स्लोप क्या होता है? नॉर्मल का स्लोप होता है माइनस डी एक्स बाई डी वाई. करेक्ट. दिस इज द स्लोप ऑफ नॉर्मल. करेक्ट, ये स्लोप होता है. सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ माइनस डी एक्स बाई डी वाई? It is minus 1 upon 2x minus 6. Now what is the slope of the given line? अगर normal is parallel to the line, then their slopes are going to be equal. So that's important part. So slope of normal will be equal to slope of line as they are parallel. So what is the slope of normal? Minus 1 upon 2x minus 6. And this is equal to what? 1. Because that is the slope of the line. Okay, y is equal to x plus 5. What's the slope of line? 1. Now let's equate it. So this is x is 5 by 2. Now corresponding to x, we will find y also, because we have to find the coordinates of the point. What we have to find? The coordinates of the point. Let's find the corresponding y. So y will be equal to x square minus 6x plus 9. Don't forget that x is equal to 5 by 2 will not give you full marks, okay? Now let's move on to it. Now 5 by 2 per square, I'm writing it 25 by 4, 6 into 5 by 2 plus 9. Let's take the LCM for 25 minus 6 into 5, 15 into 4, 60 plus 36. So what will you get? 1 by 4. So what are the coordinates of point? 5 by 2 and 1 by 4. So that is the final answer. Always half mark is this, because most of the students don't write the coordinates properly. They just find the answer for x, but they don't write it in this form. Correct? Now how will you mark this question? Again, this entire part of increasing, decreasing, it will be for 2.5 marks. So 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, making the half mark for this, and 1 mark for this table. And same way here, half mark for the normal slope, then half mark for this, and 1 mark for this entire solution, half for each, and then you get half mark for writing the coordinates. This is how do you mark for 5 marks. 2.5, 2.5. ओके, और प्रॉपर स्टेप्स के साथ हमने distribution hai. So always step marking is there in mathematics. No worries for that. Okay, be clear with that. Now this was all about section D. Now let's start this question. Now A, B, C fill the tank. Now A plus B, they are filling the tank in how many hours? 8 hours. B plus C, they are filling the tank in 12 hours together. And A and C, they are filling the tank together in 19 by 2 hours. Correct? Now if I add all the equations, so 2 times A plus B plus C. Now time cannot be added like this. For time, first we have to take for 1 hour and then we add up. So if I make a simple formula, what do we get? 8 into 12 into 19 by 2 upon 8 into 12 plus 12 into 19 by 2 plus 19 by 2 into 8. Let's make it 2 6. This is 2 4. So what do you get? 4 into 12 into 19 upon 8 into 12 plus 6 into 19 plus 19 into 4. So 12 fours are 48, 48 into 19. So what do you get? 9 eights are 2, 7 we get here. So we get here 43 and here we get 48. So 2, 1, 9, 1, 2. That is what you get here. So 9, 1, 30. So we get here 286. So this is what we get here. Now let's reduce it. So we get here 456 and 143. Correct? So we get here how many hours? Let's divide 456 with 143. So let's know how much. So 456 divided by 143 will be something 3 point. Whatever. And this is 2 times A plus B plus C. So 2 times A plus B plus C. Now this is very important, students. So if we open, it means 6 pipes, that is A plus B plus C, then it is taking this much time. So it won't be half, it will be double. Remember that point. So right, so A plus B plus C together they will take how much time? Together they will take double of this. So how much will it be? 36.36. So this much time will be taken by A plus B plus C, correct, to make up the or to fill up the tank. So that will be the answer for the first one. Now, in how much time will A separately fill the tank? A will separately fill the tank. So now we have to do simple equation. That's why this was for 2 marks, and rest all are for 1 mark. So it will simply be an equation A plus B plus C minus A plus B plus C. Simple, correct? So now let's make it. Now A plus B plus C के लिए what do we have? We have a simple fraction. If I write it in fraction, because that's easy for us to use. So basically it will be the fraction का double, right? So we get 912 upon 143. B plus C. B plus C के लिए what do we have? 12. So that will come out to be how much? 143 by 912 minus 1 by 12. Right? So what do you get now? So 912 and 12. Let's take the LCM now. So we get here. Now it has calculations because it says in decimals. Right? If it would not have been in decimals, तो फिर हमें इतना issue नहीं आएगा. So the only thing is because of decimals here you have to check कि yes we are getting the correct answer or not. Correct? So 143 upon 912. That is what we are getting here. Or you can simply put it in decimals also and get your answers. Correct? So 143 into 912, 912 and 12 calcium. Let's make it. That will be 912 Now let's make it for 143 minus, what do you get here? 912 if I divide by 12, 76. Then 143 minus 76 will give you 7, and here 1366, right? So time will be how much? 67 by 912 for 1 hour. So it will be 912 divided by 67, right? So we get here how much? Now 76. Now 912 divided by, now this is for 1 hour, right? 1 hour. So what will you get the answer on reciprocal? On reciprocal you will get the answer as total time taken, it will be 14 hours, 13.6 almost, right? On dividing we get, correct? Now let's make it to B. Now for B also you have the same thing. For B it will be A plus B plus C minus A plus C. Let's take the reciprocals again. 143 by 912 minus, what do you have here now? A plus C. A plus C is 19 by 2. So you get here 2 by 19. Again the LCM will be 912. So we 143. Now let's divide 912 with this and get the answer. So 912. Let's see it. So it becomes 96 here. So how much you get? Again you get 7, and then 13 minus 9 is 4. 47 by 912. Now divide 912 by 47 to get the total time taken. So this will take 19 hours to fill the tank. So this is how it goes on. Correct? Now C के लिए again same thing we will do. Correct? So for C what we will do? A plus B plus C minus B plus C. A. Correct? और A plus B कितना time ले रहा है? 8 hours. Correct? So let's separate it out. So for this we get 143 upon 912. This is all for 1 hour. Remember, 1 by 8. Now let's 912. So 143 minus. Now let's divide 912 with this. So what will you get? 1 and 1 and 4. So 114 you get here. Okay, so 143 minus 114 will give you how much? 9 and then 6. So this is what we get. Let's do the subtraction once more. So what do you get here? 114. Okay, so we get here this 3 minus. Now let's do it. 912 divided by 29. So it will take all 31 hours. Correct? So this will be the time taken by C, this will be the time taken by B, and this will be the time taken by A alone. So 1 mark for each. You can attempt any of the third part, B or C. Correct? So this is how you mark it off. Now let's move on to the next. Now here this is the question which is based on application of derivatives. So we have a wire of length 36 meters. He wants to cut it into two pieces, one of a square and the other of a circle. Now side of the square is x meters and radius of the circle is y meters. Find y in terms of x. Combined area also we have to find, and we have to find the length of the square piece or circular piece. It's a choice over there. First two are compulsory to be attempted. Now just remember 36 को हमें cut करना है. Correct? So 36 is the total length of the wire. Let's make it into two parts. So they are saying side of the square is x meters. Side of the square. Okay? Side of the square is x. Correct? So this is your 4x part. क्योंकि 4x कट करेंगे तब साइड x आएगा. Radius of the circle is y. So y is not this part. Y is the radius, which is always going to be the circumference. So 2 pi r. That is your this length. Okay, just this is for your knowledge. So what does it mean? If side of the square is x meters and radius of the circle is y meters, find y in terms of x. Now how will you find the equation? Why this 4x and 2y pi important? Because for the first, the length of the entire wire is 36 and we are dividing into two parts such that their sum is going to be 36. So one length is going to be what 4x and the other is going to be what 2y pi. So now you have to frame the equation of y in terms of x. So what will be the answer for the first one? 4x plus 2y pi is equal to 36. Now we have to find y in terms of x. So let's do it. So y will be what? 36 minus 4x upon 2 pi. So that's your answer for the first part. That's it. So this is one line answer. That's why it's for 1 mark. Important part is side of the square is x meters. So the total length of the wire that you would have taken will be 4x perimeter. Same way radius of the circle is y meters. So the length of the wire that you would have taken will be 2y pi. And then you add up to make the whole perimeter. That is the length of the wire. Now find combined area. Now the combined area will be the area of the square, that is side square, plus the area of the circle. Correct? So this is the combined area. Now we have to find this area only in terms of x. Y ka value already we have found from the first one. So let's put it here. X square plus pi. Now what is a y? 36 minus 4x upon 2 pi the whole square. So this is your area in terms of x only. You can extend it if you want. Otherwise, you can leave it like this as well. Now we have to go for the calculation. Correct? Correct. Now let's move it. Let's make the calculations a bit here for area. So now x square plus pi. Now here we get, if we take cancel 2, so we get 18 minus 2x upon pi the whole square. Okay, this is what we have. Now let's differentiate it to find for minimum. So what do we get? 2x plus, now 18 square is 324. Its derivative will be 0. So let's make it pi upon pi square. So वो आपका 1 upon pi. Let's keep it separate. Now what is the derivative of 18 minus 2x whole square? So 2 into 18 minus 2x into minus 2. So that will be the derivative. Now we will equate it to 0 for finding the point of minima. Now let's equate it to 0. So 2x will be equal to what? 4 into 18 minus 2x. Correct? Now let's make it here. So what will you get the answer as? X is 36 upon 4 plus pi. So x will be 36 upon 4 plus pi. So that is your answer for x. Correct? You can check it for the minima also by taking the test. D square a by dx square. Let's find it out. So if I take dx, so it will be 2 plus 1 upon pi into minus 4, and minus 2x ka derivative will be minus 2. So this will be positive always. So it's a point of minimum. Okay. Now let's find the value of y as well. So this is for the length of a square piece. So 4x, that will be the final answer. So length of a square piece will be 4 into 36 upon pi plus 4, which will be 4, 144 upon pi plus 4. That will be the answer for the first part of the third part. Now for the second part, circular piece. So 2y pi, that you have to make it. So 2 pi y, let's find it out. So 2 pi y. So what's your y? 2 pi upon, we have here, into y. So what's your y? Y will be, we find it out with this. So we get here 18 upon pi plus 4. So we get here 36 pi upon pi plus 4. This will be the answer for the circular piece. So it's a simple question. So the important thing is the first line only. If you make a mistake there, you make the entire question wrong. Right? Now let's move on to the last question. The marginal cost is given to you, and you have the selling price and the fixed cost, and you have to find cost function, profit function, and the maximum profit obtained. So now the marginal cost is given to you. So for from the marginal cost, how do we find the cost function? By integration, as we know. So let's do it. So marginal cost is given to you as 16x minus 1591. Now we integrate it, we get the cost. Okay, now if we integrate it, what do we get? We get the cost simply. So let's do it. So now integration of 16x minus 1591, that is dx, and this is with dc. So now this is c, and here we get 16x square by 2 minus 1591 x plus the constant of integration. So this is what we get here. Now the important point here is marginal cost is there, selling price is fixed, at rupees 9 per unit. So your total selling price will come out to be how much? 9 up into the units sold out. So that is 9x. Now the fixed cost is given 1200 rupees per day. So for the fixed cost से हम क्या निकालेंगे? C1 का value निकालेंगे. Correct? Let's find the cost function first. So what is C1? So C1 will be 1200, because when x is 0, C is 1200. By this condition, C1 comes out to be 1200. So what's your entire cost function? 8x square minus 1591x plus 1200. So that's the answer for the first part. Profit function क्या होता है? Selling minus cost. That is revenue minus cost, which you say. So what we have written here, this is revenue. Okay, you can take revenue also if you want. So that's 9x. So profit function will be how much? 9x minus 8x square minus 1591x plus 1200. So that will be your profit function. So your profit function is coming out how much? If I just open the brackets, minus 8x square plus 1600x minus 1200. Now the third part that needs a calculation for maximum profit. So for maximum profit, we will find the derivative of profit function, which is minus 16x plus 1600. We will equate it to 0 and find x. So x comes out to be 100. Simple question. Right? Now maximum. So d square p by dx square we will find. It's a subjective, so this step is important. So minus 16 is less than 0, so it's a point of maximum. Already marks distribution is there, that's why I'm not giving you, because you will get full 2 marks if you do everything, but if you miss out with d square p by dx square, half mark is lost. So x is 100. Now after x is 100, you have to find the maximum profit also. So we will put this 100 in the profit equation. So what will you get? Minus 8 into 10000 plus 1600 into 100 minus 1200. So let's calculate this value. 80,000 here we get, 1,60,000 here we get, minus 1200 here we get. So what do we get the final answer? 78,800 rupees. So that's your profit if X units are sold out in a day. Correct? So this is what we get. So this was all about the entire paper. I hope all of you have understood it. Okay, so just check your answers properly, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everyone.